In just over a week, I'm going on my first travel trip of the year. I don't know how I've managed to get to May and not have done any big travel trips yet. I've done little days out places, but this is a trip up to Scotland for like 4 or 5 days. I should know how long we're going for 5 days. We're going for 5 days. We are driving up, so this is a road trip. I am very excited. I've only ever flown up to Scotland before, so to drive, I think it's going to be fun. We've got a great playlist. It's a great group of people. It's the same people that I went to Vietnam with, which was such a fun trip, made even better by the people. If you want to see that vlog on that adventure, there is a link up here. I feel like it's going to be a fun time. Ask me again next week when I'm like 8 hours into the car ride and just want to be in the Highlands and be able to breathe the air that is not just recycled car air, but I think it's going to be a fun time. I just can't wait to see everything. We're going up on Thursday night. We're stopping in Glasgow overnight so I can see Lauren from Fiction Tea, who is my best friend. She lives obviously all the way up in Scotland and I live in the south of England, so we don't get to see each other very often, so it's going to be really great to be able to see her. And then on Friday we are going to the Isle of Skye. I've never been to the Isle of Skye. I've been to various different parts within the Highlands in Scotland. So I went to Mull last year, no, the year before. Went to Mull the year before with Lauren. Again, adventure up here if you want to see that journey, but never the Isle of Skye. And I know that there's fairy pools and I'm very excited about that. So that is the trip for next week. That is next week's vlog. For this week's vlog, I am prepping for that trip by reading The Road Trip by Beth O'Leary. I feel like this is like literally the book that is made for this trip. This is following a group of people who are all in a car together driving up to Scotland. It's perfect. We're following two exes who have been put in this car together through unfortunate circumstances. They're all going to the same wedding. They don't really want to be sharing this journey together, but I assume there's going to be maybe some rekindled romance going on. I'm not really sure, but you know, it's Beth O'Leary. You know it's going to be kind of wholesome and just a nice, enjoyable, easy read. So to get me even more hyped for my Scotland adventure, I'm reading about other people going on a Scotland adventure. Naturally, before a big road trip, one of the best ways to prep is by having a mini road trip, in my case to Alton Towers, where the skies very much opened upon us and it was rather wet, but honestly it just made it even more fun. I love going on all the roller coasters and Alton Towers has the best. The weather at the weekend was so beautiful and warm and sunny. I wanted to read as much of the road trip as possible, and that is exactly what I did. On Saturday, I nipped into Bath to get an outfit for an upcoming wedding, and I walked past one of the filming spots for Bridgerton as it was season 3 release week. On Sunday, I spent the whole day in the sun on this swinging bench, and I have no regrets. This is my go-to spot for all of the sunny months. I finished this book yesterday in what felt like pretty much one sitting of reading, but was really just one whole day of me being sat outside in the sun reading, which I'm not going to complain about. That is just my perfect way to spend, I want to say spend any day, to be honest. I just love being in the sun. I love reading in the sun. I feel like I read so much more because I tend to leave my phone inside because otherwise it overheats. So there are literally no distractions for me other than just sitting and reading a really good book. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I have things I enjoyed and I have things that I'm a little bit squiffy about. The squiffy things is the relationship in this. I feel like there was just some toxicity there and I don't know if I wanted them to end up together or not. I felt like they had fun together and they definitely brought out good things in each other, but they also brought out so many bad things in each other in the flashbacks that we were seeing. This is told through now and then chapters, so we see the current day and then we see how they got into their relationship and then how their relationship fell apart. And I think the overriding point was that the reason it fell apart was many contributing factors and many pressures that were external as well that weren't necessarily either of the characters' faults. And I think that that was linking to a lot of what we were meant to be thinking was like the toxicity in this relationship, and they were meant to feel like it was all resolved, as most romances do. But I feel like it didn't really have that for me. It just felt a little bit off, personally. And I did like these two characters. There was just something that I didn't necessarily know if they were the best for each other. So I feel a little bit torn there, but overall it was very funny, very enjoyable, very silly journey up to Scotland. I really enjoyed seeing that. I really enjoyed seeing the kerfuffle that went on trying to get there. I'm hoping that our trip is a lot simpler, but it was fun seeing like all the roads that they were going up, knowing that that's the journey that we're going to be making later this week. So I really enjoyed all of that aspect of it. I liked that we got this different array of characters, some of them a lot more likable than others. There are some serious topics discussed discussed in parts of this book as well, which I didn't necessarily see coming, so I would suggest checking out the trigger warnings if you feel like you would need to for this, but obviously with that is going to come some spoilers for later on in this book. But it was a fun time. It was a really easy reading experience. I liked the fact that we had the then and now chapters, because in the now chapters we were on the road trip, and in the then chapters, at the start of those chapters, we were in France, where these two characters meet in a villa, and it just had all the summery holiday vibes, and it just made me very happy. So I felt like this was real good escapism that also got me excited, not only for the road trip that I'm going on this week, but also for the holiday that I'm going on later on in the year. So it ticked all the boxes. It was a great read. I really enjoyed it. Didn't necessarily expect to finish it yesterday, so I am going to be picking up another book this week. I'm not going to be finishing that book in this vlog. I do like to try and finish a book in a vlog because I feel like it completes the vlog. But I'm just not going to have time to do that because it is Monday today. I'm ending this vlog. There's a loud car, hang on. It's Monday today. I'm ending this vlog like tomorrow or Wednesday, I'm not really sure. I need to get it up and scheduled for the weekend, and I am leaving very early on Thursday morning for this road trip. I still have to do some road trip prepping, but I'm not gonna be able to finish another book in conclusion. Why are there so many loud cars? The other book that I am gonna be reading is Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. I have had this one on my radar for a while because I really want to watch the show. Haven't watched it yet, wanted to read the book first, and I thought, why not now? It looks like it's going to be very fun and very silly. I don't know much about it other than it's David Tennant and Michael Sheen's characters, who are like respectively an angel and a demon, devil. I don't really know what the other character is, but somebody who's not meant to be too good, and they are sent to Earth to do something to do with the Antichrist, to find the Antichrist and to raise the I don't know, and I'm good with that because I think it's just going to be a fun, silly time. So that's what I'm going to be reading. I'm going to nip into town in a minute. I may well head into a bookshop, I don't know. I don't have a physical copy of Good Omens. I feel like I'm okay with that because I think the physical copies are all going to be the TV show covers, which I'm not a big fan of, but I have got it on Kindle so I can bring it with me on the trip without having to be weighed down by a book. Not that it's going to be a particularly heavy book. Anyway, I'm just rambling. I'm gonna stop talking, go into town, maybe go into a bookshop. I don't really know. It's just so sunny and nice. I'm just so happy with the weather at the moment. I bought a book which I felt like is going to surprise absolutely nobody. This is Every Time I Go on Vacation, Someone Dies by Catherine Mack. The spine was definitely the thing that drew me into this because I feel like it immediately gave off a summery kind of vibe, and then obviously the vacation in the title, very different type of vibe to the road trip, but I feel like the summer vibes of that one left me wanting another summery holiday book, and this one sounds like it's got a little bit of a murder mystery thrillery element to it. The tagline at the top is 10 days, 8 suspects, 6 cities, 5 authors, 3 bodies, 1 trip to die for. So it's also a book about books. And the review at the bottom says that it's The White Lotus meets Only Murders in the Building, and I love both of those shows, so I'm very excited about this. I also picked up this card game, Shot in the Dark, which looks like it's going to be absolutely ridiculous. It's the ultimate unorthodox quiz game. It's got loads of cards in it with really random questions in that you have to try and know the answers to, even though nobody's going to know the answer, so I think it's like the silliness of trying to guess what the answer actually is. But I thought that this would be quite a fun road trip game because we could call these out and nobody has to actually, like, there's no board that's needed. You can just talk the answers, or we can play it once we're in our cabin in Scotland. So there's my little haul. I'm not bringing this book with me, this is just a general haul, but these are coming with me. I'm all packed. I need to nip out to the shops and get some road trip snacks, which is very important, and then tomorrow I have got a haircut, and then I am pretty much good to go. Everything is done. I finished work. I'm excited. Good morning. I woke up way earlier than I needed to this morning, so I have some excess time to make sure that I have everything ready, which isn't a bad thing. Whenever I go on a trip, I always like to prep everything a couple of days in advance so that I have enough time to forget anything and then remember that I've forgotten that thing before I actually leave for the trip. It's logic that makes sense in my brain a little bit. My plan for today is to finish editing this video. I have a haircut, which I am so desperate for because my fringe, it's just not really full fringing anymore. It's too long, so I'm having to sweep it to the side. So I cannot wait for the haircut. And then just finish packing the little bits that I'm still using today. So it's a fairly chill day with a couple of things that I need to get done, but I have a snack haul that I want to show you. In my head, this is going to last us like a good few days, but in reality, there is 4 of us and it's not really that much food. It just looks kind of excessive in terms of the amount of sugar that it is, but it's fine. For health, I have got apples and grapes, and then everything else is basically just not any form of health, but that's fine because we have apples and grapes. Sugary snacks, including these Tony Chocolonely things, which yes, I may have opened yesterday because they're really good. I wanted to try them. They're very good. Minstrels and Sour Patch Kids. A little pack of mints. Croissants and waffles for breakfast. Caffeine and sugar. I think it's actually illegal to travel on a road trip without some Pringles. So we've got original sour cream and onion and salt and vinegar. What are your favourite flavour Pringles? I think mine are salt and vinegar. It depends on the vibe, it depends on the day. I love sour cream and onion. I mean, I love them all. Sour cream and onion are good too, but they leave a very distinct taste in your mouth, and sometimes I don't want that, so salt and vinegar. Safe bet, although they make me very thirsty, but that's what the 8 cans of Coke are for. I'm not going to be drinking all 8 cans of Coke. This is split between 4 people. Really enjoying Good Omens. Very funny. Very scattered plot to give you this narrative, but it's weaving together in a really humorous way. Really enjoying the 2 main characters. I feel like David Tennant and Michael Sheen are just the perfect casting for them, so I'm having a good time with that. Obviously really enjoyed the road trip. It has got me incredibly hyped for this upcoming trip. I cannot wait. Of course, I'm going to be vlogging this whole Scotland trip. I am so excited. I love making travel content. If you aren't already and you want to see this video, do subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified when I next post. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've had a fun time filming it. On to Scotland. Scotland is going to hate me. Scotland? Is this even a Scottish accent? I think it might be. Bye!